This one is from r/entitled people. My college friend turned houseguest from hell. A week left with this unbelievable nightmare. My friend from high school has been down in the dumps for a while. It's her third year of college, and while her parents pay for all her school needs and a little more, her reluctance to get a part-time job leaves her strapped for cash all the time. This culminated in her spending all 3 of her summer breaks in relative nothingness. She's taking a gap year to stall out her senior year, and I offered to host her at my parents' house in my home country. She was ecstatic. I told her to bring enough money to be comfortable, but to not worry too much about food costs as my parents can foot the bill. Note: my parents offered to do so. For some reason, she thought that this meant we would be paying her ticket. Mind you, a ticket would have cost a minimum $1,100. Chaos ensued just 2 weeks out from the designated time of her arrival, but she managed to cough out a ticket, courtesy of her parents. We're on the 3rd week of her stay, and it's been hell. I never knew anyone could change so much in 5 college semesters. Because we had a long-distance friendship, I never saw her behavior in the flesh. Let me just highlight some of the utter audacity of this witch. She's been avoiding doing the laundry, stuffing all her dirty clothes underneath the bed. At first it was because she was too lazy to put her clothes in the hamper. My mom graciously does all our laundry, mostly because she's into fitness and a busybody. Then when it ended up piling up, she got too embarrassed to admit it. I ended up doing the laundry for her. Her room is a mess from her nightly food binging, and somehow she snuck alcohol bottles into the house. I'm well into my 4th gnat trap in her room because she can't keep her crap clean enough to avoid an infestation. She FaceTimes her cousin or best friend or whatever in the middle of the night. Then when she inevitably misses on our agreed schedule the next morning because she's too tired, she lies and tells me it's because the mattress is too uncomfortable. I can literally hear you laughing in the other room. We went to a bar. She meets a local there and asks me to hang around the city while she dates him because she didn't want to be left alone. I told her to eat bum because I never agreed to being ditched like this, but decided to stick around anyways because I still had things I wanted to do in the city. It was nighttime and I went to pick her up only to see that she changed her mind and went home with the guy she just met. Womp womp. Later she tells me she lied to him, saying she moved here. He didn't want a one-night act with a tourist, but an actual relationship. She just wanted free drinks and pleasure. She then mentions that she was getting frustrated because guys weren't approaching her when she was a foreigner. She's literally the same race as the locals, except with a darker complexion. Think French versus Portuguese in comparison. She's doing narcotics, like the illegal ones. I don't even know how she got her hands on those. Probably from the guy she just met. She brought them home and tried to smoke out the window. The D's are gone from the house at least. I used cleaning the room as an excuse to flush it out, not literally. Parents bought us event tickets that were approximately $70 each. She decided to go to a club instead and wouldn't answer her phone when I was left blindsided. She agreed to go, but didn't tell me she changed her mind. I lied to my parents because I didn't have the heart to tell my mom only I went. She never tells us when she's hungover or whatever. Only after my parents buy the food, she decides she's too wasted to eat. Parents asked her to be a bit more thorough with her scheduling because she kept canceling plans and sleeping in. Her response was to call my parents nosy and tell them to get off her back. Luckily, they don't speak her language, and they didn't bother asking me what she said. They know she's being a witch. This isn't even all the things she's done so far. My parents have spent close to $3,500 on her, ranging from food and luxury trips around the country. They were going to take us to get a full-course meal ranging around $150 and a trip to another country, but canceled everything because of her behavior. Now she's asking me about these things that were supposedly promised to her, and I just told her straight that she's acting like a festering cockroach. I think she knows our friendship is over. She came out of the room yesterday after a day-long Sabbath, pretending to have starved out of stress. She has snacks stashed in her room, and when I peeked in to see wrappers on the floor, She slammed the door in my face so I couldn't see the mess. She claims that she's just depressed and didn't realize my family had all these Eastern rules that were too foreign for her comprehension. Rules like no shoes in the house and, well, not turning the room into a pigsty. We both literally grew up in the same Western country, so these rules being too Eastern for us is new to me. This isn't even considering her family is also from an Eastern country. She sat me down to tell me we need to communicate better on what I expect from her since we're adults now, but I don't see why I need to communicate that she shouldn't be putting half-eaten ramen in the closet for 2 weeks. Anyways, I told her she can do what wants to do for the last week, and I'll stay out of her hair. She again asked me if we were going on that foreign country trip we initially planned for. I told her no, and she's sulking in her room again. Oh noes. Anyways, I have 1 more week with this parasite. God, please give me strength. Moving to the next one. This is also from r/entitled people. Woman blocks the university gate, forces an ambulance to take another route. I live in a university. One evening, my friends and I were going to the nearby mall in a cab. We took the back gate, which was the closest to it, and it's near the professor's flats. The only vehicles that are allowed from that gate bear the university sticker and almost always belong to the professors or their family members. When we reached the gate, one woman was sitting with her hands folded on the steering wheel, looking distressed, and a few guards were standing on her window. My first guess was that she has some problems with the identification and is being asked to take the main gate instead. There was a small line of vehicles behind her. I got out of the cab to request the guards to ask her to move to the side. The guards told me she's not moving. I asked her myself, politely. She said she won't move until she gets her problem resolved. I told her, whatever her problem was, she's holding up delivery guys and cab drivers who are on duty. I told her a bit more angrily to move to the side. I kept repeating, "Move your vehicle to the side." She kept ignoring me. I clicked the picture of her license plate, threatened to report it to the security, but the guards would have done it anyway later. I asked her if she's a professor. She didn't respond, instead asked me if I'm a student. My male friend has joined me now. She started giving her explanation to my friend, pointedly ignoring me. Her explanation was that she had bumped into the car in front of her, and somehow that was the guard's fault. It was a little chaotic with horns, and I couldn't hear her properly. This was how much my friend and I could gather. She asked me again if I'm a student. I said yes. She said it's a matter of our security too, so she won't move. During this commotion, an ambulance had reached the gate. We have an in-house hospital, so if the ambulance was leaving the campus, it was a serious case. She hesitated when she saw the ambulance, then finally started moving to the side, slowly, as if still making up her mind about what to do, how to extend her tantrum. The ambulance did not wait and immediately moved towards another gate. The rest of us quickly left. Moving to the final one, also from r/entitled people. A Karen goes insane because me and my friend accidentally spilled a bit of water on her kid's toy car. Names used here are made up. First, with the background. This took place a long while ago. Me and my friend were in middle school back then. I, 11 male at the time, and my friend, I'll call him Freddie, 10 male at the time. This story took place in the summer. We were filling balloons with water until this kid, I'll call him Eric, 6 male, parked his toy car behind us. For reference, it is one of those where a kid can fit and goes slower than normal walking speed. We didn't notice him and accidentally spilled some water over it. Eric then drove away, so it's not like it suffered any water damage. After a while, we were doing typical 11-year-old things until Eric's mom arrived. I don't remember what she looked like, therefore I can't estimate her age. She started barking at us about how dare we harass Eric, how she's gonna ruin our lives and get us thrown in jail, and some other stuff. My country's law says if you're not 14 or older, you can't go to jail. After that, she tried to attack us. We ran away, of course, and got to our parents and told them what had happened. We started doing stuff right next to our parents. Then Eric's mom came over and started lying to our parents, presumably trying to get us into trouble with them. We called the police, and that intimidated her enough, and she left. Freddie, our parents, and I gave statements when the police eventually arrived. I don't know if she got caught and what happened to her, but thankfully never had to deal with her ever again.